Red Dragon is a 2002 American film directed by Brett Ratner and a remake of the 1986 film Manhunter by Michael Mann. This is an interesting pick for me, I gotta say, because for years now I've been wanting to do something involving comparing these two films. Now, I've been a fan of Silence of the Lambs since really not too long after it came out, still being probably far too young to be watching a movie like that, but, I digress. And I have to say, I saw Red Dragon long before I ever saw Manhunter. I had heard about this film where Anthony Hopkins did not play Hannibal Lecter, and I really kind of had no interest in seeing it for the longest time. It kind of blew my mind. I just was not ready for it, Someone playing Hannibal before Hopkins? I wanted nothing to do with it. Now, Red Dragon has a very strong cast. Hopkins, of course, as Lecter, Ed Norton as Will Graham, Harvey Keitel as Jack Crawford, Emily Watson as Reba McLean, and the star of the show, at least in my opinion, Ralph Fiennes as Francis Dollarhide, the Tooth Fairy. The plot follows Will Graham enjoying his retirement after taking down Hannibal Lecter, barely escaping with his life, when he is asked to assist the police with one more case. A depraved psychopath dubbed the Tooth Fairy has been going after families, and law enforcement cannot figure out how to catch him. And they believe that Will Graham just has something that other detectives don't. He caught Lecter, after all, when no one else could. I have a major soft spot for this film. At first, I didn't really care at all for, Hannibal Lecter kind of taking back seat to another villain. But Ralph Fiennes just owns this role like I don't think anyone else could have. And it didn't take me long to not only be okay with this, but I kind of preferred it. Silence of the Lambs had Buffalo Bill, and Red Dragon and Manhunter have the Tooth Fairy. Fiennes here gives just a chilling performance. He's absolutely intimidating and terrifying with a kind of a sad backstory that makes you almost feel bad for him, which Will Graham kind of also does. And I really have to mention the amazing performance by Emily Watson as well, as a co-worker of Dollarhide who ends up in his crosshairs. Ed Norton is good here, but I'm much more drawn to Watson and Fiennes. Now for the original film. I actually only got around to watching this I think 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7 tops. I'd say the plot and storyline are almost identical, although Michael Mann kind of gives his film a bit more of a kind of a police movie vibe. I do prefer William Peterson to Norton's Will Graham, and I've always loved Brian Cox, but it's hard for me to watch somebody else playing the role of Hannibal Lecter. Tom Noonan, great as Dollarhide, I gotta say, a bit more subdued, and I think he has a little bit less screen time, making him kind of a bit more mysterious. I think it is close, but I do prefer Fiennes as Dollarhide overall. Now, even though I have a much longer history with Red Dragon, I am going to give the edge to Manhunter. I think they are both great films in their own right. But Michael Mann he's just a masterful filmmaker, and I love the gritty vibes of his movie. That said, I highly recommend that you watch both. So yeah, let me know which one you prefer. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow for I think it's my 9th video in this series. Cheers, guys. Stay spooky.